Hello, everyone. Welcome to Expert Talks. This is the interview series with thought leaders in the analytics, AI, and transformation space. My name is Mahadevann Iyerr, Mahaa for short. I'm your host for today. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Marketplace for on-demand analytics services. Our guest for today is Utpal Chakrborty. Utpal is the Chief Digital Officer of Allied Digital. Prior to that, he was Head of Artificial Intelligence at Yes Bank. He's had an illustrious career as principal architect at IBM, Capgemini, and Larsen & Toubro Infotech before that. Utpal is an eminent speaker, researcher, and author on topics as varied as artificial intelligence, quantum computing, blockchain, Web3, Metaverse, and IoT. He's been conferred with many industry awards. Last year in 2022, he was the Global AI Ambassador. So Utpal, it's a pleasure having you on Expert Talk. Thank you for making time to join us for this podcast.
Thank you so much, Maha, for inviting me and hoping that we'll have a great discussion.
Thank you. So Utpal, when I read through and you authored around 7 books and, on varied topics, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, Web3 and Metaverse, on digital. So just want to understand, do you see that these are all very contiguous in the way you've gone about learning and understanding and researching them? Is there some sort of a thread that ties them up? So how did you, have this interest and how did you go about it?
Yeah, so you rightly said. I mean, definitely, this is kind of a continuation. Okay, so we are also building up on different technologies. Although some of the technologies are very, very unique, you can say, for example, quantum computing, right? So quantum is something, it is unique. But then now we can relate quantum with artificial intelligence in a great way. How? Because the quantum machine learning, right? So which is a very hot area. How you can run your machine learning algorithm in a completely parallel kind of environment. So that's kind of a speed, okay, agility that quantum computing gives to your artificial intelligence. Now, if you look at Web3, Metaverse, and all other things, of course, these are all interrelated. And I think this, or let me take a step back. So I believe that we are living in a what you call golden era of technological revolution, right? Mm-hmm. And I think like any other golden era, okay, that has occurred in the past. So it is not only one factor or one technology that is contributing to the golden era, right? Rather, it is like multiple technologies, multiple factors contributing to this revolution, okay, and brings about this golden era, right? And that's what it is happening today. So absolutely, everything is some way or the other interrelated, whether it is artificial intelligence and quantum computing, and definitely artificial intelligence and Web3 is AI is an integral part of Web3. Okay, so in most of the areas of Web3, you will see AI is going to play a major role. Same goes for the other technologies like blockchain, because if you want to bring that kind of a transactional ecosystem within your Web3 and Metaverse, then definitely you require a technology like blockchain. So these are definitely interrelated. And my interest, basically, again, the same thing. It goes from one technology to another technology, because I see there are a lot of futures coming up with those technologies. So I start exploring those, and in that process, probably I write some articles, some books, and all those things. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Very nice. Very nicely explained. So, I read a blog of yours of 2019. You said AI superpowers, leaders versus contenders, right? And essentially, you spoke about some of the factors and components that are required for a country's AI ecosystem, right, to evolve. Right? You also at that time, almost assessed various countries like US, China, UK, Canada, India, right? So And now it's 3-4 years since then, right? And India possibly has evolved, right? There has been a huge adoption of digital payments. Our digital response to the COVID pandemic and the vaccine that too you know, was fairly appreciated worldwide. So
Yes.
if you were to look at that today, right? So if you could explain about some of the factors which build a country's AI ecosystem, and where would you place India today?
Yeah, so yes, of course, 3-4 years has gone, and the scenario has changed a lot because the focus that China was getting at that point of time, probably that has got completely defocused at this point of time. And some other countries like India and all, they are evolving. Okay, and not only India, probably some other countries also. And very recently, I have not done that kind of a study because that was a rigorous study in 2018-19 when I was writing that paper. But I think the factors remains the same. The factors contributing to this, one is of course the research part, and that is still US and Canada is leading, right? So because any research that is happening in the area of AI is still happening in the universities and also within the industry or the collaboration in US and all. So for example, I would like to give you the example of the generative AI, which has like come up in a very big way into, and ChatGPT is one of those instances, right? So this actual research of generative AI and the transformer neural network architecture, which is the heart of ChatGPT, it has been done by Google and University of Toronto. Okay, initial advancement, whatever we have seen, is done by that, and then some of the researchers from Google and also OpenAI and some academia, they came up with another very revolutionary what do you call it, concept called attention model, or self-attention model. Okay, which is again made ChatGPT what we see today. So this kind of research or this kind of things are actually mostly happening in US and Canada. Okay, some of the universities. So that is one component. The other component is the implementation part. Okay, so I think India has gone far ahead in this couple of years in terms of the implementation part, right? So, and if you see in our startup ecosystem or even in our academia and our industry, a lot of implementations of AI are here, and some of the implementations are really out of the box. Okay, because I'm connected with the startup ecosystem and academy, and I can see there are brilliant implementations that has been done in couple of years. And that's what I have predicted also in my article, that India probably, because as our generation is an IT generation, okay, and we have seen the entire journey of IT, right? And if you look at our Gen X, Gen Z generation today, I mean the millennial generation today in India, so I call them a IT generation, right? Because somehow one way or the other they are related to IT and they've seen the journey, okay, from their birth probably. Right. So, I mean, that is, and the third factor is the platforms wherein you get an opportunity to get trained, upskilled, and all that things. So, in India, I mean, these things are very, very easy and in that way, very, very economical, right? Because any kind of training, there are various trainings available in India, not only online, but classroom kind of trainings, wherein they provide AI ML trainings of decent or good quality. Right. Second comes to the academia. Many academia has started either they are engineering in artificial, I mean BE, BTech in artificial, or MTech, MSc in artificial intelligence, or like advanced certifications in AI, machine learning, and all those things. Right. So that is also another thing, an opportunity for the students to upskill themselves or to take some kind of a career path into artificial intelligence. So that is another factor. That factor is also completely favoring India, because if you go to other countries, I think probably the amount that you'll have to spend for such kind of a training, offline training, Yeah, instructor-led training, that is humongous. But here you will see every other day some master classes are going on, some workshops are going on. You can take part. It's not only professionals who will be a data scientist, but also anybody for that matter, probably a business analyst or probably somebody who is working on some other areas but has interest on AI. And so it's very favorable there. And the other thing is basically the endorsement from the government. Okay, so that is very, very important because government can play a major role in terms of into bringing that awareness. Okay, supporting this kind of initiative. So that endorsement is very, very important. Unfortunately, our current government, Niti Aayog, and all those all other institutions that we have, they have got a huge focus on AI. And I think they have done a great job in terms of um, uh, bringing that kind of awareness in different ways, or at least supporting those kind of initiatives. Also, some way or the other, giving the AI startups an opportunity to grow in their space, right? So that is also another factor which is favoring India. Now coming to others, so there are a lot of many factors that has actually gone in favor of India, and that's why I think probably if you assess today, I mean, rank of India will definitely go up rather being at that the same place or going down. But coming to other countries, probably many countries during this pandemic somehow has been left out in this competition, right? What it was there in 2018 and 2019 because of a lot of economical factors and a lot of economical these things, right? Because probably because ultimately, I mean, this kind of initiative, when everything goes well, then only you'll see this will be important. So this is, I think, in short, Maha, what I can see today. But of course, probably I'm a little bit out of the context also, because I mean I have not done a very rigorous study that I did in 2018 and 2019.
Understood. No, very well articulated. I think the other factor also you mentioned is given Indians' ability to apply business use cases on already research topics, and given the market size, I think we are also getting a lot of investment ecosystem coming in. That is also fueling this adoption of AI, and possibly that is also another factor that is helping India build that AI muscle, if you will.
Absolutely, I think this is a good point. Like, I mean, the maturity of the venture investment ecosystem, or probably even the angel investors. So they have now understood, okay, the potential of this kind of technologies, and they have started investing on the startups who are doing work on AI.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, when one talks of allied digital, then obviously there is the whole smart city project, right? So it will be great for our listeners to understand a little more about a smart city project. What does it mean in terms of digital infrastructure investment? How does it manifest itself in terms of how do end citizens benefit from that? So my own understanding of a smart city and when we build a digital infrastructure around it is that all the all the data exhaust that is used, digital data exhaust that is used to understand data better and serve customers better. So there should be better customer experience in their day-to-day life. And two is because that understanding is there, it should make our government spends or assets or function more productive. That is my broad understanding of why one would do a invest in a smart city type of thing. Apart from that, obviously, that then leads to economic growth in that particular city and all that. So if you could help explain what does a smart city mean in terms of digital infrastructure? What is it in terms of size and scale? Because there'd be lakhs and lakhs of sensors, lakhs and lakhs of, huge quantum of data. And then a few examples of what will it mean if I were an end consumer in a smart city or if I were a government department in a smart city, right? Anything that you could help explain that would be great.
Yes. So we at Allied Digital, we have been doing this smart city projects from long, right? So I think I mean probably we are one of the pioneers in a smart city in India. Okay. So definitely our number will come probably one in that list, because the number of implementations that we have done and the experience that we have got from those implementations. And of course, these implementations has changed, right, over the period of time. So probably in the beginning, the implementations were more on the infra level, connecting the devices and bringing all the information into a single command and control center kind of a thing. And then it changed into bringing more and more intelligences, like we are doing like now, like all smart cameras, smart sensors, smart all other things, and how to actually derive some of the use cases from them. Like for example, in some of our smart cities, which we are doing, like Allied is doing, is basically like how to identify a acid throwing event, right, to a girl or a woman, or probably somebody is beating somebody else, or somebody is fighting, right? So how to detect those kind of things through computer vision. Okay, so those use cases have already been implemented, a lot of use cases, and these are very advanced use cases like that. But on a holistic manner, what we are doing right now is essentially like now you have got all the infrastructure ready for the smart cities, right? So you have got your smart lights in the street, you have got the smart garbage management, traffic management system, then your sensors. Okay, so everywhere it is there. Now, as you rightly said, now how to bring all the data into a common place, repository. So that's where a data lake or a warehouse kind of a system plays in other ways. So bringing all the data through some ETL process into a single repository, and then of course do all kind of transformation, all kind of correlation into data, because see, this data is like what do you call, it's a versatile kind of data. So you will get structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data, streaming data, and you require different kind of strategies to bring those data into a single repository, and then transform those data, do some correlation, filter out, build some smart what do you call, data marts. Okay, because data lake is awesome. Data marts are more like where from you can derive your analytics and all those things. And then you run the machine learning models, AI models, analytics models to do a lot of things. So it could go, this intelligence could go into your command and control center and to the authorities, so that they can take a immediate action on any kind of event or any kind of tip. All also, they will get some kind of indication of the future events. Okay, because there is a predictive nature also. You can build using machine learning models. The other thing could be that same intelligence can go to your citizen-centric apps. Like as a citizen, you are consuming some of the services, you are getting some of the services. Like for example, like some traffic condition in the city, or if there is a flood situation, what is the situation in the flood, in which areas are affected, kind of thing, or if there is a fire somewhere, kind of thing, anything and everything. As time goes, like we'll build more and more intelligence services which the citizens can consume, and they can essentially use those. So as a whole, if you look at it's a journey, right? And it's not only for India, for any other countries for that matter. Like these smart cities will evolve, okay? And one school of thought is, okay, fine, once you do that, what next? Okay, some of the next things are already visible, but probably over the period of time, we'll get more and more use cases to build that. So that's what we are doing in Allied Digital. And the vision of Allied Digital is essentially to bring the world-class solutions into the smart city ecosystem in a very cost-effective manner, whether it is our own built solutions or own built products, or we partner with somebody who is already mastering those. Like for example, for computer vision, right? So some of the solutions, okay, we have partnered with some of the best providers in the world, right? And some other solutions where we are good, okay, because we have got this decade of experience building smart cities at different places. And as you know, like building a green smart city is very, very easy, right? But it's a greenfield kind of a thing. Okay, so nothing is there, and we build it. Like in Indonesia, probably they are building a smart city, and they will be shifting their capital into that smart city. Okay, and it's a green, so no infrastructure is there at that point of time. It's a completely greenfield kind of a project. But here in India, it is different. So the smart cities that we have done, okay, it's like already, like for example, Pune smart city is there. So it should, everything is going as usual in the smart city, but at the same time, okay, we are building the smartness. We are putting a lot of equipments, a lot of sensors, this, that into the smart city and building it. So that is the most difficult part when we do. And I think we have got a huge experience on that, and we'll keep on improving on that, because our vision is for example, our CMD's vision, Mr. Nitin Shah, he has got a vision that will go out of the way, okay, to bring new technologies into the smart cities. And for that, if you have to go to any corner of the world, wherever those kind of technologies are available or solutions are available, will not shy away from going there and bringing it to our smart cities.
Got it. No, very nicely articulated. Like you're saying, building smart cities in India is akin to boarding a running train and then slowly, guiding it in the right direction, as opposed to somewhere like Indonesia, where maybe the train is at a standstill and then you say, okay, this is the direction I'm going to take. So, it has its own set of challenges. Great. Now, we've written about bridging the digital gap. And you mentioned that AI and machine learning is going to be very important, but for it to be really effective, adopted and embraced, eventually it has to show in customer experience. So customer experience eventually has to get better to see the impact that AI and machine learning can create, and also increases adoption. So, so I totally concur with that view. But if you could, possibly take an example and explain that, when you said that, customer experience eventually is the end measure of how impactful AI and machine learning is.
Yeah, so I think any successful implementation of any technology for that matter, and which is catering to some of the requirements of the customer, I think the best implementation would be when the technology disappears, right, for the customer. Okay, technology should not be visible to the customer. Customer should enjoy the benefits of the technology. So that's what I tried to highlight there. And as you AI and ML is definitely going to play a major role, because what happens, like if you look at the digitization journey, right? So today, if you look at almost in all organizations or enterprises, or even in the government, almost all physical services has now been digitized. Okay? So hardly, if I ask you, tell me 10 services which are not yet digitized, you will have a hard time to answer, right? Almost everything is digitized. But is it the final game? No, I don't think so. Digitizing means, because many of the enterprises you will see, like they are archiving their data, but it is only for archival. They are not using it, right? So all in digital format, but they are not using it. So I think the semiconductor revolution has now come to kind of a threshold or a dead end, right? So same, the digitization is also normal. The vanilla plain digitization has also come to kind of a dead end kind of a thing. Then what next? I think next is something called cognification. Okay, so this word is not available actually in your Oxford Dictionary or anywhere, but I use this term very frequently because it's relates. You can relate it. Beautifully. So cognification, what I feel is the topmost layer of digitization. Okay, or where digitization ends and the cognification starts, right? So wherein we try to bring the cognitive element, okay, or the human cognitive element into our digitization process. So that intelligence building on top of your normal digitization. And that's where a technology like AI, ML plays a major role, because this is not possible with any other conventional technologies. And the enablers could be, of course, the big data system is there. Now quantum is coming. So quantum is the enabler for AI, right? So that you can actually do that processing with that speed, the quantum machine learning model, whatever is required in that particular place. So that's, I think, is the journey. So from digitization to cognification, and ultimately it is all like going towards serving the customer in a better way. And eventually everything, all the technology vanishes for the customer, and customer enjoys the benefit of the services that has been provided by this, or the services that has been enabled by this technology. So that's what is bridging the digital gap.
No, very excellent point. So essentially, bridging the digital gap is essentially using what you said, cognification, which
Yes.
essentially is able to have a speed of processing and is very intuitive and literally frictionless for customers, right? Like you said, the technology should cease to exist as far as the customer is concerned. They get a frictionless, intuitive experience out of that. And for that, on digitization as layer, you need to have cognification, where you combine quantum computing to embrace its power and speed, and AI and possibly machine learning to bring the cognitive part of it, or the intelligence part of it, and then serve the customers in a fairly seamless way. Okay, nice.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, so Utpal, you've worked with a lot of MNCs as a principal architect. Then you at Yes Bank, which is obviously a large retail bank, and then you joined Allied Digital. Now it also has its fintech product. But where I wanted to come in is that we keep saying in data analytics that a large quantum of projects do not deliver on business expectations on account of lack of business or situational context, right? Um, but then you've been very successful in multiple roles. So, what are some of those approaches you took? Uh, so, I have two questions. One is this whole context overhyped? Is it really a necessity? Number one. And if it is yes, then what are some of the approaches that you took to build that domain context, domain knowledge, situational awareness? How did you go about it? Any tips?
Yeah. So I think in a banking environment, if I talk about banks and all those things, so yes, I mean, banking, if you look at it, it is a data intensive business. So ultimately, behind the scene, okay, we are generating huge amount of data, and now how to use that data into your business context, okay, or
Hmm.
serving your customers better. That's kind of and that is possible only with a technology like AI, ML, and all. But having said that, while implementing those kind of solutions, you require a huge amount of domain support. That means support from your subject matter experts, SMEs.
Hmm. Hmm.
And without that, I think it is impossible, okay, for a project to be successful. And it is as simple as impossible. Uh, mm, and that's the reason. So my approach always used to be, it's kind of a collaboration with the domain people and the technology people, and how to marry that. And finally, all aligned towards the final business goal or final business outcome. So if that thing is very, very clear, then I think, and from the beginning also, okay, and this process needs to start uh, from the very beginning, like where you are conceptualizing the product, so the project. Okay. And if it is there, then I think success is almost guaranteed. Probably you may not be able to achieve 100% of your outcome, because we need to understand AI, ML, and all those things are still evolving. Okay, so as a data scientist, I would say it is evolving field, and definitely there will be some amount of R&D, okay, that will come up during your project, and if it is out of the box implementation. Okay, most of the cases it is out of the box implementation. It cannot be a straightforward implementation. And it is not only AI ML, by the way, because AI ML is largely depending on the data, right? So even the collaboration of the data engineering team, okay, is also important. So if you are not getting your data from all the sources in your enterprise into a single repository, and then you do all kind of analytics, AI, and all those things, and if the data engineering strategy, data engineering framework, or data engineering platform, okay, these are not correct, then definitely whatever analytics you run, okay, it cannot be accurate. Okay, you will see a lot of differences in the reports, a lot of differences in this thing. So this is very, very important. I think that is the only one thing I think that is key. And also, support from the top management is very, very important, because now it is kind of a multiple, you are bringing multiple teams together, right? And as you know, at least in the Indian context, okay, so most of the, as the enterprises goes, okay, so these departments start working in silos. Right? Now, how to bring all those, so these are in fact separate organizations altogether, right? In many cases. So how to bring all those people together towards a common goal, okay, towards a common vision, is something that probably as a AI leader or a data scientist or a principal architect or even head of AI, you will not be able to do. Okay, that needs to be done in a much higher level, probably from the CEO level. Okay, I'm not even talking about CIO, because CIO will be heading the IT department, right? But you require a lot of business people there. So it should be a CEO's initiative, okay, when one way or the other, not a CIO or any kind of business initiative. If it is there, then I think, success is almost guaranteed.
Understood. Nice. So one more point I want to discuss with you is, so today, if you look at most organizations, there is obviously, insights and analytics that is required for, understanding what is happening in the business and taking some immediate action, right? So there is a time currency to problem. I have a problem today, my sales is decreasing, my churn is increasing, or my conversion on e-commerce website is reducing, whatever, right? So there are businesses focusing on that, saying my leads are not converting, whatever. Which is a very, very immediate problem. I mean, competition is doing something, I need to respond type of stuff. And then there is the deep capability building, using MI, AI, ML, deep learning models, and creating a little more multi-generation type of project, which is a lot more evolved and deep and can possibly give breakthrough solutions, right? Now, how do you, from your experience, where do you see this evolving? Because there is business is saying, tell me what I need to do now, right? And sometimes we as guys in the AI field and all that are building possibly breakthrough solutions, right? Now, somewhere there needs to be a balance. So what is your own thought on how is this evolving? As more low code and no code platforms start coming, do you think the first part of it is business something they are getting more analyticals and data savvy and they will start doing it, and the AI and ML teams will work more on long generation projects, or do you see both of them coexisting? How do you see that?
Yeah, so I think that depends on the maturity of the leader who is driving this initiative in any enterprise for that matter. Because see, I see very clearly, okay, that AI ML can give you the intelligence, right? Wherever you require. So, for example, I'm taking your example only. My sales is not happening the way it should happen, and there is a customer churn. Okay, how to address that? So there, that intelligence AI and ML can easily give you, right? It can give you why it is not happening. What are the reasons? So if you do a good analytics, you can get it. Even you can see the customer churn pattern, or even you can go a little bit predictive kind of thing. Now it is up to the leader whether his AI or ML initiatives should be addressing these issues, or he is doing something out of the box, probably after 5 years or 10 years, somebody is going to. I don't believe in that approach, because whatever implementation that you do using whatever cutting edge technologies, that should have a immediate business outcome, or at least there should be a roadmap. Okay, and it will start giving some kind of outcome from the beginning itself. And AI and ML has a huge capability of giving that, and it is built for that only. That's where, I mean, everywhere you will look at the analytics dashboard, analytics, and everything with predictive, prescriptive natures are coming from an AI ML only. So I think if somebody is implementing it for, say, very long term kind of a thing, so then I think there should be a very distinct reason why he is doing it. So probably quantum computing is in a very nascent state now, okay, and somebody wants to build a system for portfolio analysis, okay, and he wants to use quantum machine learning on that, okay, and that's a long-term project kind of a thing. And he's doing some kind of experimentation, some kind of a pilot, and he sees that after 5 years his solution will be ready. That is okay, but that should be a completely what do you call, it's an informed decision that the leader should take. But all other things are more or less clear. We know like where all we can use AI ML today in your business context and in your analytics and these areas, or if you want to build some kind of a conversational engine, something like that. So yeah, that will be my answer. I mean, it all depends on how they think as a leader.
So essentially what you're saying is, for a good leader has to have the ability to break it down into multiple milestones, possibly outcomes which are time bound, so that there's a connect with the business. Obviously, you can have some sort of a research project going on the side, but a good AI machine learning initiative or project should have, maybe multiple time plans with outcomes and milestones defined, so that there is always an ongoing connect with the business. Am I right in understanding that?
Yes, absolutely. Because what we did is an exercise, and this is very, very important for any enterprise, okay, for at least the data science team, that they sit, I mean, in a frequent interval, right? They sit with the business team and understand their pain points, and then identify the cases which qualifies for AI implementation. Okay, and then probably start with a small POC or pilot, show it to them, have conference, and then go for the full-fledged implementation. So that is the approach. Okay, every month probably they will have meetings with different business leaders. Okay, the business particles, the departments, heads or SMEs. So that is the approach, because in a banking environment, or for that matter, any other, some of the use cases are very, very visible, right? So people have already worked. We have got some examples. Some bank has implemented this, that, and all those things. But many of the use cases are hidden use cases. Okay. And until and unless you discuss with that the business leaders, even you will not find out that, yeah, here we can use some NLP solution or a machine learning solution, probably a small solution, but that will have a huge impact on that. For example, in the document processing area itself, right? In almost all the banks or all the enterprises, if you implement it in a right place, now there will be a huge amount of saving, which will have a revenue impact, okay, which will bring efficiency and agility into the process and all those things. So, I mean, to identify that, probably, I mean, from years it is going on a conventional way. Okay, a lot of FTs we are wasting there. There is no efficiency in that process, and because of that, other processes are getting impacted, right? So to identify that, definitely as a data scientist, you cannot directly, you need that support from the business people, but you should drive it, having frequent meetings with them, understanding their pain points. You can easily identify and qualify the, hey, if I can implement a small machine learning solution here, then there will be a huge saving, huge agility kind of thing. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, understood. Now, that brings me to the next topic. So, we are talking of AI, ML. Now we're talking of future of AI. We're talking of, generative AI. We're talking of, essentially low code, no code type of thing, conversational AI is being now taken to the next level, with OpenAI type of tools and all that, transformation networks and all that, right? And the general feel is that with that, context and ability to define the problem or ask the right question or prompting the right question will become increasingly important because how the data is going to get processed and all that is going to become more and more easier, right? So, writing a code, pulling the data, creating reports, all that will over a period of time become more and more easy. And so if I understand the business, the problem, defining it better, then I can start using it, right? So the future looks like more empowerment to the business, for lack of a better word. That is the way I look at it, right? And on the other side, you have future of work. Future of work is again moving more fractional, do it when you want type of stuff, multiple projects happening, people actually doing their core job, also wanting to do some jobs on the side, right? Collaboration, remote working, all that is happening, right? More freelancer migration happening, more fractional work happening type of stuff, right? And so when do you see the future of AI and future of work? Do you see that converging somewhere where people can work in a more seamless, more collaborative manner, and where things just actually, the pieces actually fall into a form from both the way future of AI is evolving and the way future of work is heading?
Yes, I think definitely there is a huge direct impact and link that I see right now after this chat GPT came up, right? This kind of, this will, and more such things will come up, because it is not only like the text. Right now, it is more of a language model or a text model, but the same technology can be applied for any other these things. It could be images or videos or anything, audios. It could be, and already people are working, and some of the things are already available in the market. Probably not that mature or not that powerful like ChatGPT. So of course there is. I think we'll have to look at the work from a very different lens today, right? Taking into consideration people want to have multiple income sources, right? People want that kind of a flexibility, working from home, spending more time with family, and all those things. Taking care of their health in a better way. So these things you cannot undermine. You cannot just negate those. And probably if any enterprise is trying to do that, okay, or imposing something, no, you will have to come to office and you will have to work in this style, which used to be happen say before pandemic or something. So that is not going to happen. Okay, they will lose out the talents. Okay. So you have to look it into a completely different kind of things, and it should be more of an outcome oriented thing rather than a 9 to 6 kind of a job, because probably what I can see is another 5 years nobody will be ready to do a 9 to 6 kind of a conventional job. Okay, at least in the IT field, definitely not. So now AI, how it is coming is, so today, like for example, let's take the example of a generative language model like ChatGPT. So if you have to create a say probably kind of a job description or anything for that matter, probably an invitation letter or something like that, if ChatGPT can do it, and I can change a little bit and I can do it, so my agility is increasing multifold, right? Which will take probably 2 hours of my time, and then somebody will review that, somebody will do some proofreading it after correcting and all those things, and that can be done in say probably max 10-15 minutes with all review and all those things. So why not? Okay, because ultimately, if you look at human brain also, so we are actually consuming information, then cooking the information in our head, right? And then delivering a fresh content out of that. But one way or other way, okay, we are also reusing those information only and then delivering it, right? And the same thing ChatGPT is also doing, right? So ChatGPT is trained with almost all data that is available in the public internet, whether it is wiki articles, the articles that you have written or I have written, the conversations that we have done in social media, the public books that are available in internet. So to all these things, these models are trained, right? And essentially delivering a very, very fresh, new content. It is not a redundant kind of a content from somewhere. With the context, with that kind of intelligence, empathy, and all those things are also coming into there. So why not? I mean, see, we have been using what do you call calculating things traditionally, and then calculator came, then computer came, kind of thing. So this is kind of evolution. So I think definitely it's not only AI. I think we should thank to all the technologies, okay, which will make our uh, this work better, smarter, and all those things. And probably we as a human will be more and more using our creative elements, which has already been given to us by the Almighty, and we'll be using it more and more. Okay, so that's what I can see.
No, in fact, you answered my next question. I was going to ask, saying that, how important is creativity? You already said that it's going to be important. And yeah, so no, ability to understand, an opportunity, a problem, and then creatively solving it. And then depending on machines to, improve the agility, if I understood right, what you articulated, right?
Yeah.
Great. Um, so what would be the top two or three advice that you would give to a aspiring 18-year-old who is wanting to, build a career in the digital AI space, in the coming years?
Yeah, I think this is the age I think anyone, okay, so it is not only for 18 years, probably for us also, we should be a well-informed human being. Okay, what is happening around us, irrespective of any field. It could be technology, it could be art, it could be culture, and all those things. Because when we talk about business, when we talk about life, when we talk about humanity, it is not only one. It is not only one aspect, but it is multiple aspects. So a well-informed human being, okay, has already having a lot of advantages. Now coming to a technical person or a person who will be working in the digital space kind of thing, of course, he or she needs to understand the technology also, what is happening in the technology world kind of thing. But when he is well informed, I think other all ingredients are coming there. And if you look at implementations today, any implementations, okay, it has got a lot of angles. I'll give you an example. So today, if you implement AI, definitely in many of the countries, and even it will start here also, already starting, the ethical angle, okay, of AI implementation is very, very important. And that is only possible if that individual or a developer or data scientist is a well-balanced human being, right? If he's not a balanced human being, very, very techno savvy and doesn't know anything about the world, he cannot do a ethical implementation of AI. He doesn't know how bias comes into your AI model. Okay, where what are the factors that bias kind of being. Second thing is everywhere now also you have to look into the sustainability angle, which is very, very important. So World Economic Forum has a great importance of their SDG, right? And ESG initiatives and sustainability, green finance, green computing, green everything, green. So how to bring that? A well-informed, balanced person can only think while doing any kind of implementation that how I can bring these kind of things also apart from the technology and business angle. So I think world is moving towards that. So it is very, very important. I think a person to be well informed and of course good at technologies, good at their business processes. So that's the piece of advice that I can give.
Oh, excellent. So what you're saying is obviously one needs to have technical capability in the domain one chooses, but they must have peripheral knowledge and understanding of what is happening around the world in multiple situations like humanities and arts and context and all that, and some of the important things like ethical practices and sustainability, which is what is becoming very important for the world. And then they can be a wholesome professional, delivering value to the society and business. Great, well articulated and very interesting conversation. Utpal, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for making time, and I'm sure I have thoroughly enjoyed and learned from the 40 minutes that I've spent with you, and I'm sure our listeners will enjoy and learn a lot as well. Thank you so much for making time.
Thank you, Maha. It was really great discussion, and I also enjoyed thoroughly, and it is definitely enriching for me as well.
Thank you.